More severe weather is on the way, my friends, as well as a big weather pattern change here for the country. We have ourselves a lot of changes that is getting ready to work its way through. But what's up, everybody? Welcome back here to another weather forecast. My name is Andrew Heischman. Now, for today, we got ourselves a few things we need to talk about. We'll go over the severe weather expectancy, rainfall accumulations, really everything you guys need to know about this upcoming weather here across the country. Things are going to change, and I do believe that we are going to be getting a bit of active severe weather in the future, so we definitely need to look out there for that. But anyway, starting off with the current view across the country. So obviously we just had that big storm system roll through. That system is now pretty much out of the country. You can see that large cold front. That thing did work its way off the coast here pretty much yesterday and this morning. So that is good. That threat is pretty much done. However, across the southwest, we do have ourselves another area of low pressure that's starting to spin up here. This is going to drive a bit more severe weather as this thing does work its way here to the east. This will drive the potential for some severe storms across the south, which we'll get into here momentarily. But other than that, we are looking relatively clear. Things are finally starting to calm down. We did have a lot of nasty weather activity, in terms of tornadoes, damaging winds. I mean, not just from those thunderstorms, but also just really strong winds in general from that system. It was pretty crazy. But anyways, folks, let's go ahead and hop over here into the models. We got a few things we need to talk about. Alrighty, everybody, rolling our way over here into the models here, starting off with the American GFS. If you guys do want to follow along in the time, it is in the top right, so you guys can look at that. But we do have ourselves that system we were talking about finally rolling its way out of the country here, but we do have another system. Now, actually, there's going to be a little bit of snow towards the central plains in the Midwest here, pretty much here for later today into tomorrow. So really not expecting anything super crazy. I mean, we'll look at those snowfall accumulations here in a little bit, but honestly not going to be anything super, super wild. But then as we approach our way in through the 8th and 9th, you can see across the south, we start to develop a lot of rainfall as that system across the southwest we were looking at does roll its way through the region. Now, this will be actively allowing for a severe weather threat to occur, which we'll get into here in a few moments. But anyways, so that rolls through. Now, honestly, the reason that I was telling you guys we're going to have this big weather pattern change is because the models have been pretty consistent. Obviously, it's not good to go down too far in time in models because, the further you go in the models, the more inaccurate they do tend to get. But, it does look like we're going to be in quite an active pattern here coming up here for pretty much March, starting off March. Multiple storm systems rolling through for the next couple of weeks does seem quite possible, and it does seem like a lot of the models are picking up on that. Now, when comparing this with the European model, the ECMWF here, that little bit of snow is possible. Once again, we'll get to those snow accumulations here in a moment, but also, driving a little bit of severe weather in the south. And so, yeah, I mean, definitely we do need to be keeping an eye on it. I do think that things are going to start picking up here pretty soon. Also, the west, the western coast here, we are going to be seeing a bit more activity for areas out by like California, possibly a bit more rainfall, a bit more snowfall for those upper elevations will definitely be possible as another storm system possibly could roll through right around the 12th and 13th. That's starting to push it a little bit, but we'll definitely keep you guys informed if any of that does occur. Alrighty, everybody, working our way over here into the active severe weather outlook here for the next couple of days. Now, for today, we do not have ourselves any risk for severe weather. Just a little bit of thunderstorm activity in the west is possible. Really nothing crazy for today. Now, same thing for tomorrow. Just a little bit of thunderstorms possible between portions of Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. But once we work our way into Saturday, that's where that severe weather threat is a concern. For portions of eastern Texas, Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and the far western panhandle of Florida, there will be the possibility for a little bit of severe weather being possible. Now, the discussion actually did mention that, a tornado or two could be possible. So tornadoes are definitely possible with this storm system here, as well as I think the main concern is going to be like damaging wind gusts. So look out for some strong winds, some tornadic activity. We'll see about hail, but honestly, yeah, just keep it out there for a little bit of severe weather on Saturday. Now, once we look at the extended range outlook here, starting on Sunday, we do not have any form of anything really going on in the extended range. We are looking pretty good. Really, it's only Saturday that we need to look out for a little bit of severe weather. Alrighty, everybody, working our way over here back into the models, although this time taking a look at the amount of instability that will be in place here for Saturday's severe weather concerns. So as of right now, there's really not a lot of instability or unstable air for thunderstorms currently, but as we work our way down in time, you notice once we approach Saturday, the day of severe weather, we start to build in a bit of instability across the south, which is going to allow for some thunderstorm activity and perhaps, like I said, it's even some severe weather being possible. We're talking about 500 to 1,000 joules per kilogram, which is, nothing super excessive, but it's a enough instability to get some thunderstorms going and severe weather happening. So with the instability, there is definitely enough. Now, once we work our way over here into later Sunday, a bit of that instability will go its way over Florida. So maybe for Sunday going into Monday, we could have maybe a little bit of thunderstorm activity across Florida. I don't know about severe weather per se, but there will be enough instability to allow for some storms to occur. Now, another thing I do want to look at is those lower level winds. So this is actually really important for like tornadic development and whatnot. Honestly, we are looking pretty good. There's really not any strong, there really isn't a strong jet stream in the lower atmosphere, which is good news. Unlike the last event we had some really, really strong winds in our lower atmosphere. That is not present for this storm system. So if we did get tornadoes, they would likely be quick and brief, also pretty weak as well. So that's definitely some good news. But yeah, lower level winds are not really too strong. Our mid-level winds, on the other hand, as you can kind of see, we do have some pretty strong mid-level winds, which is good to keep storms organized. It'll allow for those storms to be possibly long-lived. However, like I said, tornadic activity probably isn't going to be anything super crazy. You know, if we did get that, it's just going to probably be, once again, brief, maybe weak or whatnot. Now, the last thing I do want to look at is the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. We usually look at this with dew points, and you know, typically dew points in the 60s is good, in which honestly there's going to be a fair amount of moisture, you know, a fair amount of water vapor that will be present here, you know, allowing for a lot of that moisture to be used for those thunderstorms, in which we do have those dew points pretty much in the 60s and even 70s, which is a great amount of moisture. So the storms have the moisture. There's enough instability. The winds are a little iffy. I mean, the mid-level winds are strong enough to keep storms going for a while, but the lower level winds don't really support anything heavily tornadic, which is definitely some good news. So that is a little bit of a breakdown in the models here. Alrighty, everybody, working our way over here into those snowfall accumulations over the next 48 hours or 2 days. Now, like we mentioned, we do have a storm system that's going to be rolling through. Now, there will be a decent amount of snowfall with this storm system. Not really anything super crazy, though, but we are talking a good potential for maybe 6 or more inches out there towards like northern Nebraska, perhaps even some localized spots in like western Iowa could be possible as well. But honestly, you know, this storm system is not going to be anything super crazy, but just a little bit of snow for some of those regions. Now, out there towards the you know, the northeast, by the Great Lakes region, we will be picking up maybe a couple of inches of snowfall within the next 2 days as well. Central New York possibly picking up a good 3 to 5 inches or whatnot. Even a little bit of snow up there towards those upper elevations in the Blue Ridge Mountains could be possible too. But honestly, really not anything super excessive. Most of the snowfall out of this storm system is going to be for pretty much like northern Nebraska. Once again, possibility of some of that snowfall accumulation being 6 inches or more. Okay, so now rolling our way over here into the rainfall accumulation over the next basically 4 days or so. So with all that rain that's going to be rolling its way down into the southeast, we are going to be having a decent amount of accumulation, you know, maybe an inch or two possible towards portions like northern Florida, southern Georgia. With that storm system that works its way here to the east here, you know, it will drive a little bit of rainfall, but honestly really not anything super excessive. Once again, the most of the heaviest rain is going to be towards like northern Florida and southern Georgia, with a couple of inches being possible. Alrighty, so now we're working our way over here into the outlook here from the Climate Prediction Center. Taking a look at the forecast here from March 11th to March 15th. Across a lot of the central and eastern country, we are expecting temperatures to be actually above average. The more east you go, the greater the probability of those temperatures being above average out there. Now, quite the opposite, actually, across the west, you can actually see a lot of the west here being below average, so actually being a little bit cooler than usual will be quite possible here for pretty much kind of mid-March. Now, regarding the precipitation here for the same time range from the 11th to the 15th, a lot of the country is going to be relatively above normal. Like we were mentioning, there's going to be the possibility for more storm systems and whatnot as we work our way through this month, so a lot of the country is going to be relatively above average in terms of the amount of precipitation expected, except for the one little area here out here in Texas where it could be just a little bit more drier than usual. But for most of the country, we're talking a lot more precipitation than usual. Alrighty, everybody, well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you guys did enjoy it, consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. Later today, I think I will be doing a live stream for you guys, probably sometime maybe around 9, 10 o'clock or so. So I hope to see you guys then. But alrighty, everybody, once again, thank you so much for joining. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.